Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and my throat's a little froggy. I've got a lot of pollen going on here around where I live, so please pardon me. All right, today is what is today? January 25th, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's the 25th. Can you believe it? 2017. And I'm going to be coming to you today with the general open reading. So this is not for any specific sign, nor is it for any specific time frame. These are just, I open the cards and ask to show me something. So this message may resonate with some of you and it may not. As I always say with the open readings, please take what you can and disregard what you cannot. I do hope that there is a message in there for everyone that they can take something away from it. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can always click on the right-hand corner, one of the banners there. It will take you directly over to the website. I do ask that before you make a payment or you book, that you read the tab that says, it's underneath, I think, readings by phone, that says important information on booking. And this will tell you, particularly for phone readings, exactly what happens and what's going on. All right. I do readings 6 days a week, and my turnaround time is between 48 to 72 hours. Now, I have with me the Rider-Waite deck, the Radiant White, the La Vida Sibilas, and the Sibila Indovinas, as well as the Angel Answer cards. And I usually always pull one of those at the very end to try to either sum up the reading, or if there were questions that were not addressed, you didn't get answers that were addressed in the reading, perhaps that the Angel Answer card will help you. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the reading. I did have a card present itself as I was pre-shuffling. And what I do is I meditate and ask my Akashic Record Guides to come and help me to interpret the readings or to pass on the messages as the cards present them. And so the first card out was, sorry, the Ten of Swords. Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh, I don't usually like to take any medication before I do readings. So bear with me, please. So here we have the Ten of Swords. I would like to welcome my new subscribers and those of you who have stuck with me for the past couple of years. I would like to offer my sincere and humble thank you. It is much appreciated. I do have some new things coming up for you starting next month. So you can check to the website and I'll eventually be making the announcements, but I've been working real hard behind the scenes. So here we go. We're going to lay 8 more cards and then we're going to get into the reading. Well, right off the bat, I have 2 tens. Well, there's our outcome card, and that, my friends, is always the most positive card to get as an outcome. Now, I see that I have 2 tens here, and for me, tens are transitional cards. This is the way the tarot is broken down. For those of you who are not familiar with it, it's divided into 2 groups. We have 22 cards known as the major arcana. So this is going to be our cards like the Hierophant, the Sun. These are life lessons and spiritual lessons. And then we have, um, excuse me, the pip cards, which are the numbered cards. They start with the aces, and then they go all the way up to the court cards, which are going to be our pages, knights, kings, and queens. So aces, 2, 3, 4, 5, the numbered cards. These are all of our pip cards, and they represent situations on the mundane level in the physical realm. So right in the center, I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana in the spread itself, and the overall energy of this reading is a major arcana. It is the Sun card. In one respect, I do feel that this could be transits that we're dealing with, planetary transits. The Hierophant would represent the planetary transit of Venus. The Fool would represent the planetary transit of Uranus. And then the Wheel of Fortune would represent the planetary transit of Jupiter. And we do know that for all of until October 2017, Jupiter is in Libra. And this is all about balance, fairness, equality, and harmony. which interestingly enough is what Venus represents. Venus not only rules the sign of Taurus, but she also rules the sign of Libra, okay? But there are two different energies. When Venus is in the second house, this is all about your self-worth, your self-esteem. What type of value do you place on yourself or the things that you own or the money that you make? When she is more focused on the seventh house, this is about the value that you find within relationship or partnership with other people, not just romantic, any type of partnership, okay? Because that's what Libra rules. It's the house of partnership, commitments, and yes, marriages. Um, right in the center, I have the Knight of Pentacles. And so this is going to be our focus card. And the Knight of Pentacles is typically is going to represent an earth sign individual, perhaps someone who may be in their 30s to 40s. This would be a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn. This is someone who's going to be slow, steady, determined, always successful in what they do because they've taken such a long time to put things into place, perhaps researched it. But oftentimes I see the Knight as an event, okay? And typically what Knights do within the tarot is they bring messages, news, and gifts. And as you can see, we have him writing off or presenting himself with an Ace of Pentacles, with a pentacle. Now I liken that one pentacle to be the ace. And aces always represent new beginnings or new opportunities or fresh new energy coming in. So, typically when this card shows up, this can say or mean that there's a message that is coming, that has been a long time in coming, okay? And usually when he shows up, this particular message is always something good. Now, that depends on how you look at it. And I'm looking at this Eight of Cups here. And depending on your situation, you know, is how the message is going to play out. The cards are the Ten of Swords, the Hierophant, the Four of Coins, the Fool. You saw the Knight of Pentacles. Then we have the Eight of Cups. Then we have the Two of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, now I have just one cup card here, and cups represent emotions. I have one swords card, and swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, communications, concepts, okay? I have two coin cards here. I have the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. And then I have two wand cards, the Two of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands traditionally represent work endeavors within the tarot. But I liken the wands to be sort of like the cups. There is an emotional component to it. In other words, it is about your desire and your ambition, your fire, your go-get 'em spirit, the wands. So I kind of liken those to cups as well, but they typically represent the work environment or something that has to be done. The coins represent the actual doing of the work on the physical plane, physically getting out there and doing whatever it is that you're trying to do, okay? So I can see that perhaps for some of you, we start out with the way they're read, past, present, and future, past, present, future, and then the interplay of the cards. So with the Ten of Swords, I'm looking at an event that occurred, perhaps for some of you, goes back to the month of June, between June 11th and I can't see what that is, maybe the 20th, might be a 2-week time span, where either you have given up, you've resigned an idea. Perhaps these were communications that did not come through as you had hoped they would. Sometimes this is a card of someone stabbing you in the back. So this is really a situation in which you're at the bottom. And it may have occurred, as I said, back in June. So it happened, and in one respect, I'm going to say it was around the summertime because I have the Taurus card here as well. This is what the Hierophant represents. Now, the Hierophant is about, he represents organizations with hierarchical structures or traditional organizations. So this could be a university, it could be a church, it could be the military, it could be a major corporation, but it also speaks to marriages, okay? And it also speaks to someone being in an elevated position, obviously, in which they are in a position to interpret things or give advice, okay? So those are the different meanings of the Hierophant. So I can see that whatever this Ten of Swords is representative of, it could be surrounding one of those particular types of organizations, or it could represent a person. Now, sometimes when I see the Ten of Swords show up with the Hierophant, this can be a situation in which two people's philosophical or religious beliefs don't kind of mesh up. But because I'm looking at the Four of Coins sitting on this same row, in a sense, it tells me that this can be about someone who is stubbornly either not communicating or has communicated in such a manner and they are stubborn. Taurus represents stuck, fixed energy. So this is about values. It could be that someone has communicated their values or believe or think that the values that they have do not mesh up with someone else's, and they are, in a sense, kind of stubbornly sticking to that. Now, this card can be about protecting your assets and your resources, and could also be saying, now is not a good time to go into a new endeavor. And in one respect, I would say that might be true because we are still under the Mercury direct shadow phase. That's going to be ending here this weekend. And we're also going to be coming up on a new moon. So there should be some fresh new energy coming in for you to move forward. This could be about wanting to have some type of contract with someone and it did not go well, or perhaps the negotiations broke down. And so right now you're kind of sitting, kind of waiting to see what you should do. If you have been sitting still, I would say that that is a very, very good thing. I do think we have the Uranus card here, the Fool card, and this is about a new beginning. So this could literally be that at some point in time with this fresh, you're going to get the message that comes in. So say, for instance, you've been waiting to sign some paperwork on a deal, and you haven't really heard anything. Perhaps the communications has broken down. And finally, the message comes through. But what I'm getting is that for some of you, the terms and or the conditions are not going to be what it is that you are looking for, okay? It's not going to be satisfactory. They're not going to be acceptable to you in some way. In which case you're being asked to go back to the drawing board. I have options here and I have choices. The thing is do I have to do it the same old way, or can I turn around and do it a completely different way? And I think that no matter what your position is or which side that you're going to be falling on, I think that largely a lot of this is going to depend upon luck. It's the Wheel of Fortune. And the wheel says that what was down will also come back up, but also what was up will come back down. So this could be a cyclical kind of thing. We see that we have someone feeling really at rock bottom, or this is the victim mentality, like, oh, woe is me, I got stabbed in the back. And so I'm going to walk away from whatever this situation is. But as you can see, as they, there's a choice here about what can be done. Now, I'm picking up that once we move away from this, and this could be about moving away from this situation, okay? And as you can see, the person is leaving in the middle of the night and they're walking away from things that they care about. But there's obviously some kind of, what's the word? Problem with either the communications or the belief system or the way that they think. This could even be someone who just feels that they can't get out of this situation. This is it. And this is a very tough energy to get out of. But it's a 10, so it's transitional. It will happen eventually. Of course, it's going to require you to either make the choice of whether you want to stay stuck. It can be about whether or not you want to go wade back into the situation or not. For some of you, this could be just a bit of confusion about where do I go now that I've walked away from this situation? What do I do now? Now, as you can see, this is an eclipsed moon. This is the only eclipsed moon in the tarot deck. And what always strikes me about this card is that this person gets up and walks away in the middle of the night. They don't say anything. They just get up and they leave. Okay. So this is typically when you're just not being fulfilled. And this is, in one respect, I have swords Cups and Wands. And so what this is saying is that nothing is meshing up. Not the way that I think, not the way that I feel, and certainly not what I'm doing. Nothing is making any sense. So it's kind of like being at a crossroads and not being sure exactly what it is that needs to be, that you need to be doing. Now, we can see here with the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is the card of perseverance. It is about being wounded. It is about sometimes expecting the other shoe to drop, waiting to do battle again. But I think what you have to look at and take advantage of with this card is the fact that there are 8 wands behind this person. So what this says is that you've overcome a lot of obstacles already, and this may just be the very, very last hurdle that you're going to have to go through or jump over before you could actually see some positive benefits and some positive outcomes. I do feel that for some of you, the fact that you have had to wait, okay, for so long, you know, you've been waiting. Maybe you've been waiting for somebody to come back, and you've been waiting for such a long time that you don't quite know what to do. And this is like a momentary pause. Now, down the center, I feel that some of you will be getting some kind of news, a message that may have to do with a contract of some sort. This could even be a proposal or a marriage, or the getting together of 2 people. Contracts can be formed in many, many different ways. And I think that some of you will be getting news that you've been waiting for a long time that is going to, in a sense, change things for you. But please keep in mind that whenever there are any changes, there tend to be new obstacles or challenges that come along with it. The star card, I'm sorry, the sun card here says that indeed, most definitely, that whatever this challenge is that is going to be presenting itself, that you will be able to, it's, you know, when the sun shows up, this is the light being shined on something, okay? So whatever has been hidden from you will be coming to light. It represents a sense of freedom and self-esteem, joy and happiness, enthusiasm. So whether this is news that you've been waiting on, that your contract is going to come through, the way it's kind of reading, let me put it like this, is that even if you have to walk away from something, in the end, it's going to turn out to be okay for you. Okay. And basically, it's going to be us trying to get a handle on what we're thinking. As you can see, this is about somebody who needs to make a choice. And right now, they're stubbornly not making a choice. Okay. They're not making a choice, but not even not making a choice is a choice. Okay. And this is someone who's not happy with the fact that they're stuck in one place. But yet there's something about this Nine of Wands, and I can't quite get my finger on it. We can see that the person is sitting, they're holding on to everything that they have. Right now, they're not making any moves forward because 4s represent stagnant energy. But then suddenly we have Uranus, and that's what Uranus does. Uranus will come in and bring about a sudden, complete, unexpected change, or present some kind of way through, a pathway through for you quite suddenly. But here we have someone who says that they don't trust that. That's really what that card is saying to me, that they have an opportunity to move forward, but there's something about it that they don't trust. Okay, in which case there's not a lot you can do about that. So let's take a look at what this Ten of Swords represents. Whatever this thing is, there is a deeply emotional component to it, and it may be something that is not been revealed yet. And the reason why I say that is because of the eclipsed moon. Eclipses tend to hide things. You don't have all the information that you need in order to make a full determination of what you're supposed to be doing. But this kind of looks like that all of a sudden there's some clarity that comes. Something occurs, or there's a change in circumstances or a change in energy. But yet still someone does not trust it. Okay, so this could be someone who you know, this is just so weird. It's this Knight of Pentacles that sits in the center that kind of, again, it's that energy of being stuck, which doesn't make any sense because we have all of this movement here. Let's take a look at this Ten of Swords. Yeah, look, I have the dilettante, the stupid actions, stupid behaviors, the stanza, the card of communications, but there's nobody there. And then the vedovo, this is the sad, lonely man tied to his past. So this could be literally, it's another situation. It's a situation in which someone, perhaps there have been stupid arguments, okay, and stupid behaviors, and it has caused the communications to break down. But someone is still thinking. They cannot come out of the space over what was said, what was communicated, how it was communicated, and or what they think. Their thinking, in a sense, has not changed. This is about the windmills of their mind. They're still thinking about, you know, probably repeating, playing things over and over in their mind again. You know, this says, well, you know, I had that opportunity, you know, but I didn't, I chose to do it the same old way. You see, because if the figure in the card were faced with this wand, if he was turned around face, he'd be right on the side of the Wheel of Fortune, taking advantage of this new opportunity that's come through. Now, I want to take a look at the Eight of Cups. For some of you, there's going to be, we are coming up on the new eclipse season. The first eclipse is going to be February 26, 2017 across the Aquarius Leo axis. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to eclipse what Leo point or what Aquarius point, but it might be Leo because of the wands where this card sits here. I'm not exactly sure about that. Well, as I was saying, remember I said this is about someone where they just feel that nothing that they have or everything that they have invested their emotional energy into that is no longer serving them in some way. We have the Dottore, and the Dottore is a professional. He helps. So this could be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, you know, anybody who's in the helping profession. And if does not represent that type of profession, then it represents someone who does a lot of caretaking, okay? And that now they themselves perhaps need a little bit of caretaking. Perhaps they are depleted. This is why they are walking away. They are emotionally drained and or depleted. And perhaps this is a new situation that is occurring for them. This is something that I would say it is because it's, and if it hasn't come up yet, it will be. So this is, again, like I said, it's like somebody being at a crossroads, or they're about to come to a crossroads in their life. The baby represents something new. Now, what's interesting is, I don't know if you can see that, we have people lying in bed. Everybody's lying down as if there's a rest, there's a break. Can you see that? The baby's in the manger or the crib. There's the ammalato or the sick person in the bed, and there's someone coming in to take care of the sick person. So I find that to be quite interesting. And I think what this is talking about is it's someone who has perhaps given a lot to other people, who's done, but now that person needs some help and they're not receiving the kind of perhaps emotional support that they need. But it looks as though they've had an opportunity to get that, and maybe they felt that it wasn't exactly what they needed. But I can see, in a sense, it's like they're questioning that. And will there be another opportunity coming around? Let's take a look at this Nine of Wands here. Yes, this Nine of Wands. Here we are waiting on a message to come in. and the message from far away. Remember, I was talking about this, and there's a bit of angst and worry about that. See, they're kind of just waiting and they're on guard. But then I have the superbia, and the superbia speaks to arrogance and vanity. And it could be that the cards are saying they themselves are waiting for someone else to make the first move, and that move hasn't come. But yet they are too stubborn and stuck in their own energy. Out of vanity and arrogance, they have their pride that they themselves don't want to make the move. Oh, geez. In which case, I don't know what to tell you about that. It's kind of a tricky energy. You know, if you've been wanting to reach out to someone, the cards are not necessarily saying that it's going to, you know, I'm not going to interpret that to be that, yes, if you reach out to someone, it's going to go well. It very well could. But also, because it's the wheel of fortune and the wheel turns, and sometimes you have no control over that, this could be about you wanting to reach out to someone, maybe, and there's fear of doing so because you fear what the message or the answer will be. It could be that you want to reach out to someone, but you are too stubborn to do that. You have too much pride. It could also be that you do reach out to someone in hopes that everything's going to go okay, but it does not. Well, I would think in the case of the latter, that it would still be something positive because it's like you're going to be getting the answer that you've been waiting on all along. And a lot of times this card can be about, you know, don't be careful about, you know, thinking that you know how the outcome's going to play out, because you don't really know. There's a lot of factors involved. And this, sometimes I can see this card as kind of taking a risk, trying to, you know, spinning the wheel and see exactly what's going to happen. You may win, you may lose, but don't necessarily assume that you know exactly how this is going to turn out, that it's going to turn out to be the same. I'm going to have to go through this all over again. I just got over all of this stuff. I'm really not in the mood to have a fight again, but if I have to, I will. So, I mean, quite frankly, if that is the case, then you know that you have an opportunity here to do it a different way. And perhaps if it's done a different way, then you won't get this Nine of Wands here. Let's take a look at what the Two of Wands is saying. Just trying to tell us. The militare. This is law enforcement. So this could be about someone who is caught. Maybe this is a karmic cycle. Someone who feels caught in the past of doing things the same old way. Yes, of being alone. Okay. But having the desire to do something different. Now, the Lechereza speaks to sensitivity and tact and lightness. It can also speak to irritability. So this could be about someone who's quite in a position. But what I would think is that if that's the case, they themselves have placed themselves in this position. Why? Because they are stubbornly refusing to budge or to make a move. This could be about waiting for the situation to change all on its own, and waiting for something to drop from the sky, you know, but it doesn't always work like that. All right, let's pull sometimes you have to take a risk. And I do feel that in some respect, if you take this risk, no matter how it turns out, there is a protection here. There's a protection here in that. You might get something unexpected, and this is what this, you know, remain open to the universe, what the universe has in store for you, and be open to whatever new opportunities have come, will come, are coming, have presented themselves. I do feel that for some of you, this is a past situation. Now, as I said, there's no timing here. So I really can't, give you an indication of, this could play out all the way past February. Okay? Eclipse. But just know eclipses hide things. So it could very well be that something is going to be revealed to you around that eclipse, if not before. I mean, Mercury is going to be up to full speed this weekend. I do not really have any communication cards except for this one. And remember, this is a very, very slow message in coming. And we can see that one has come in the past, but it's also like the person is waiting for another message to come through of some sort. This could be some kind of self-discovery, okay? Something that they need to see for themselves, about themselves. Self-value, self-worth, self-esteem. All right, let's pull one card, and hopefully this will present an answer for those of you that did not. This could be business, it could be romantic, it could be familial, it could just simply be something that someone's going through within themselves. Again, this card has come up, improving health. Now, there are different types of health. Yes, there's the actual physical health, there's the spiritual health, the emotional health, there's even the financial health. There are all different types of health. And we do see that someone is really not in a good place. Now, what that means in terms of how they're not, it's almost like the cards are saying, if I look at the knighting, the swords, the cups, and the wands, that really they're not in a healthy place mentally, emotionally, maybe even financially. But the culmination of all three of those things is just that their life is not really the way they want it to be. And I always say, when you don't like a situation, you do have the power to change it. It may take some time to get that done, but if you're wanting to make some major changes, I do feel that with the outcome of the Sun card and the overall energy, that eventually things will right themselves, and maybe you just need a bit of clarity. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped, and until next time, namaste.